What's up YouTube, Day over Zephyr Wargames, bringing you the Monarch test hand video from the deck profile that I did for you guys the other day. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 test hands going first, 3 test hands going second like we usually do, and we're going to show you what this deck can do. Now obviously the deck is more ideal going first because it wants to lock your opponent out of the extra deck, but it can also go second and do a bit of damage that way if it remains uninterrupted. So without further ado, let's crack straight on. So, first 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not the best of openings, but not the worst because we do have the ability to get one of these bad boys out. So with normal summon our idea would special summon an YUGIOH from deck. There's our YUGIOH. We would then get additional tribute summon from YUGIOH, tribute the pair of those off, and go probably into Urbis. And then we'd go Urbis, would send... where are you? Send Pathyism and send Prime. They go to grave. We would then pitch one from our opponent's hand, so they go down to 4 cards instead of 5. We would banish Pantheism. Pantheism would then search us out our 3 domains, and we obviously would be given one of those. Activate our domain. Our opponent is now locked out of the extra deck for this turn, or well, until they can clear both these off. And then we kind of pass. So we've kind of achieved one of our goals, which is locking our opponent out of the extra deck. Other than that, that's kind of the ideal behind Monarchs. We did have extended plays there, like for our next turn, purely because we had YUGIOH in hand, we had YUGIOH in grave, we had Prime Monarch in grave as well. So we did have plays we could have moved forward on. Okay, so let's test hand number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Interesting. So we've now got all of the squires in hand. Oh, took the camera out proper good on that one. We've all got all the squires in hand, so the best play to do now is, in my opinion, would be to allure and hope we get one of the Mega Monarchs, or a Gofu and a Mega Monarch. Gofu and a Mega Monarch. Activate Tenacity. Tenacity can reveal a card because we would reveal this with Tenacity, and then Tenacity would search out what we kind of want. Now you can search out Return of the Monarchs, which would get us a big monster in hand, which we probably would do actually. How extended can we go? Let's go with Return. Alright, we're going to see how this goes. So we'll special summon Gofu, we'll give ourselves 2 tokens. So activate Mithra. Just make sure I do this right. So special summon this card, and if I do special summon a token to my opponent's side of the field, in defense decision, if this card is tributed for a tribute summon, you can activate this effect. This card, you can tribute summon 1 monster during your main phase this turn, in addition to your normal summon, normal tribute summon or set. So we'll special summon her out, give my opponent a token. We will activate Return of the Monarchs. We'll tribute off Go Through and Mithra for Urbis. Obviously, we now have an additional tribute summon. Urbis would send, where are you? Prime and Pantheism. Return would to pitch one from our opponent's hand. Return would send search us out Karaz. And then we will banish Tenacity to special summon out Prime Monarch. Tribute off the Prime Monarch for Karaz. Karaz will pop the 2 tokens that we have, drawing us 2 cards. So let me just shuffle up. So Karaz then draws us 2 cards, Tenacity and Vanity Fiend, which isn't too bad. And then we'll banish Pathyism to search out our domain. Activate our domain. Our opponent is locked out of the extra deck, and we've got these 2 bad boys in hand on field, and our opponent's down to 4 cards. We then also have extended plays next turn because we've got an Idea. we've got tenacity, which works. We've got tenacity, which depending on what we draw would work. And then obviously on top of that, we have Vanity's Fiend to lock our opponent out for special summoning, just in general. So that's actually not a bad hand. So let's do our test hand number 3 going first. Our last test hand going first. And let's see if we can get a hat trick of locking our opponent out of the extra deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just got away with that. Gofu, give us 2 tokens. This is how important Gofu is in Link format and obviously in Monarchs. Special on Gofu. Tribute off Gofu for Karaz. Karaz pops the 2 tokens, draws us 2 cards. Activate Domain. Activate Upstart, because why not? Activate Rhoda, just to deck thin a bit more, give us our idea for next turn. You can set Frost Blast as a bluff if you wish. It's entirely up to you. Yeah, and then you pass your turn, because that's pretty much as far as we could go with that one. But that's obviously entirely up to you guys. It would have cost you, you could have activated the main, but... Right, let's start going second. Let's see how aggressive we can be, shall we? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Very, very interesting. So we need to get a Mega Monarch. If we don't get a Mega Monarch in hand, we're not doing a lot. Not what we wanted. Yeah, there's very little we can do in this one, unfortunately. You would probably go through... the best thing you do is just wall up a little bit. Unfortunately, that is the downside of the Monarchs the way they are now. If they were consistent and perfect, everyone would be playing them. So you could wall up with Gofu, you could wall up with a Deer if you wanted to, and an Eidos, but then you're just wasting resources, so you're better off just holding on to those and hope that you draw into a Mega Monarch. Wow, no, a Deer. Brick Monarchs. Anyway. Let's try and be a bit more aggressive, shall we, on this one? Let's see how this one does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I bet I'm not going to see any small ones now. 6. Oh, just. Activate Tenacity, reveal that. Now, it's really down to you on how you want to play this. You can go one of 2 ways. You can go into Pantheism and hope you draw into a Squire, or you can just go straight into a Stormforth. It's probably the safest one to do. Go into Stormforth, activate Stormforth. You can activate Domain if you want. Turn one of these down a level, and then you can go into Urbis or Karaz if you, Caius if you want. If your opponent's got a Dark Monster, I'd probably say go to Caius, because then you can manage 2 cards. Otherwise, you go Urbis, send Prime, and Pantheism to spin a card back from your opponent, and then you can banish Pantheism. But the only thing with Pantheism is you'll probably go 2 Tenacity and then 1 of what you want most. So you could go Frost Blast, considering it can get you something more, or straight up you can just send Frost Blast, use Frost Blast effect, so you banish this card, target, banish this and Tenacity, I suppose, then add a spell to your hand. You can add Pantheism, but obviously it's not much use to you right now, or you can activate March to kind of lock your opponent out. They can't really do a lot to your Urbis. Or to deck thin, you can go into your Tenacity and thin it out a little bit more that way. But unfortunately on that, all we've been able to do is tribute off one of our opponent's monsters, bounce 1 card or rip 1 card from their hand, and then attack them directly for 28, but in the process locking them out of the extra deck. Right, now let's do our third test then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not too bad. Purely because we can activate Rhoda and Tenacity, revealing Caius. Now again, if you want to be more aggressive, you can go Stormforth. So Rhoda straight away gets this idea, and then we can activate Stormforth if we want. We'll search out our Stormforth. Where are you? or you go into your Pantheism. Now your Pantheism, Stormforth is probably dependent on what your opponent's got. If your opponent's got like a Dryden or anything like that that you want to get rid of, I'd probably recommend going for that. Otherwise, you'd probably go for your Pantheism to draw, because you can pitch Prime into Graveyard and then bring it back. So, activate Pantheism, pitch in your Prime, draw 2. Oh, wow. That's insanely good. Because now we can go banish Pantheism. Pantheism can get you whatever you want, really. You can, I would say, go your 2 Tenacities and your Stormforth. They're either going to give you Tenacity, which you're going to just search off Stormforth for anyway, or you're going to activate... sorry, if they give you Tenacity, obviously you can only activate once per turn, so yeah, your safest bet is going straight for your domains to get you the lock-on board anyway. Or you can leave your opponent with a hard decision and go Stormforth, Frostblast, and then return if you want. Either way, let's go with domain, because obviously without an opponent actually here, I can't. So we've got this. This is our hand. It's not bad at all. We might as well activate a Law as well, because we might as well get more draws out of it. Oh, off the top. That is it. Yeah. Now we just got to decide what we want to banish. If your opponent's got a dark monster, obviously you can use Caius and banish off 2 cards. Obviously, you can still get Caius out with your 2 cards as well. So let's banish Vanity Fiend. I'm not going to worry about locking them out. I've got domain there anyway. We'll activate Stormforth. We will special summon Gofu, 2 tokens. Then we'll activate domain. We will tribute off their reveal Ether, tributing off their monster, getting Ether to field. Ether can then send 2, so we'll send Prime and Frostblast. And then she can special summon out. Depending on how aggressive you want to be, you could go into Karaz. Karaz can then pop your 2 tokens, and then you're only going to attack for 28. Or you go into Urbus and attack for another 28. There's enough cards in grave for you to do some damage, so if we pop these 2, we'll draw 2 more. Turn always comes out 1 card too late. Activate return. We have the ability to activate Frostblast in grave, and we've got the ability to activate Prime in grave as well. So we can pretty much search out any Monarch spell or trap card we do wish. And then, like I said, you attack for 28. You've got a bit of defense there, or a card that they need to get rid of. You've got Karaz there, you've got Domain in play, and then you've got Gofu should they clear your board next turn. You've got Adia if you want more plays as well. And like I said, you've got the 2 primes to kind of protect you. So that was probably our most successful, like, well, not our most successful, but a fairly decent second turn board. Now, because we did brick 1 hand, I will do another one now just to kind of fill in the void, so you've got 3 actual play hands. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Activate return. Not a lot we can do on this one. It just obviously clearly doesn't want us to have a 3rd kind of play. That's kind of dead, can't do that. Foolish Burial will only just give you another random monster, and he black wins. And so yeah, without a Mega Monarch, it's happened again. Anyway, I won't push my luck too far. Yeah, that is it. Like you said, like you saw, there was a couple out of the 7 test runs we did, there was 2 that were bricks that were pretty much unplayable. We couldn't do a lot with. However, the other 5 did produce fairly decent boards. So, this isn't perfect, but it is a cheap link deck to pick up, or a link ready deck that you don't have to worry about the new mechanic too much if you are going to take your time to adapt. But yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and until next time, guys, as always, Happy Dueling. If you like that video, why not check out our other videos available? We've got more deck profiles, pack openings, and of course duels. And don't forget to click on the most important button of all, that subscribe button, right in the bottom left hand corner.